Hello, I hope everyone is doing great. I wanted to talk a little bit about nutrition and kind of my journey with it. So, I always follow the practice, and your coach might be different if I'm not your coach, but I like to follow the practice of really focusing on one thing. And I encourage my clients to kind of have one main focus that they're really like, they're not going to give up on. So, like, for some, it might be like, I've just been sedentary and it's daily movement, and it's that they're going to get their workout done every single day. And for other people, it's nutrition. But let me just tell you this, nutrition is obviously the harder component. A workout you can do in 20 minutes, a lot of them are 30 to 40 minutes, right? Think of how much more of your day you have left, though, and you're making choices, constant choices. Like every single minute, you probably think about like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm whatever, right? It's the harder component of it, right? It's nutrition. And that also contributes to the vast majority of your results. Most of you are probably in this boot camp because you want results in some fashion, whether it's higher confidence, higher strength, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 100 pounds. Maybe it's just whatever it is, like that feeling of feeling healthier. Whatever it is, you want results, right? You want to feel different. You want to look different, whatever it might be, right? And that comes into the nutrition. It absolutely is where I've seen results, but it wasn't easy. And what I did and what I really encourage you is to kind of pick an area. And I always encourage positivity. Do not come into this thinking, I'm not going to drink pop. Like, I'm going to drop pop. That's going to be my one thing. Like, that might be the result of it, but I want you to think of what a positive way. Like, I am going to stay, I'm not going to be thirsty because I'm going to be drinking lots of water. So maybe it's that you're focusing on drinking lots of water and you don't even think about the fact that you want pop. Does that make sense? So I want you to think about everything in like a positive light. So as we think about nutrition, I really, is that enough reallys? Want you to focus on positivity in your nutrition. And that might, you're like, what is she talking about? But you guys, it is not easy a lot of the times, right? You're like, oh, I can't have that cookie. Or, it's like our brains are trained to think about like what we can't have. I really want you to think about the abundance of what you can have, okay? And don't think about not being able to eat something. Just think about it as a treat if you are going to eat something. And so really, like I said, focus on positivity. That will help you in all situations in regards to nutrition. So think about it in positivity. Those results are going to come by following nutrition the best you can. Now, that being said, everybody's different. So what works for one person might not work for others. However, Beachbody has some great programs that I love and that have worked for me. So, and honestly, I've kind of combined the two. So the two big ones are the portion fix, which a lot of people may have been introduced. You might be doing the 21-day fix right now. If not, like, it's the portion fix. So it's portion containers. And it really helped me just to get an idea of like what's an appropriate portion. I would say that my protein portions were too small, and I was probably only getting 3 portions, and I absolutely need at least 4. When I first started my journey, I was still breastfeeding, and so I needed even more. I was like, how am I supposed to eat all this food? Problem is, I thought I needed to eat a lot of carbs, and that was giving me the quick energy that my body needed to make milk. And in actuality, yes, your body needs carbs, but the way that my body was functioning, it was actually making me really lethargic and tired because I was overeating them. Anyways, a healthy diet, and I'm not saying a diet in the sense of restricting. A lot of people think of like restrictions. A healthy diet meaning how you live your life and the foods that you generally consume. That is going to lead you to, and that consistency is going to lead you to results. So you absolutely are what you eat. I don't remember, I was going to look up the stat before I did this, but of course I forgot, on how often your cells actually replace themselves. It actually happens a lot. And so you absolutely are what you eat. Each decision you're making every single day on how you feel your body is changing the composition of your body. So I want you to keep that in mind. So, like I mentioned, so the two big nutrition plans, To Be Mindset and Portion Fix. Portion Fix I already mentioned. That kind of has the portion containers. And that really, it just kind of lays out what you should be eating when, like how much you should be having. Whereas To Be Mindset is much more of the positivity mindset of how you feel your body. I would say that if you're looking for results and that like if weight loss is your main driver, I would highly encourage To Be Mindset, as well as if you're somebody that tends to self-sabotage and have problems with kind of that the mental game in fueling your body. And so if you tend to like binge eat and like struggle at certain times of the day, To Be Mindset is definitely going to help you like acquire those tools to help you to get just this positive mindset around how do I feel my body. I learned a lot from To Be Mindset, and it absolutely has helped me. Even when I'm using my containers, it helps me to think about my meals a little differently. It has like plate it methods, and what I love the most are the little slogans, because they're things that can stick with you. And she really focuses on her two bunnies. And it's run by a dietitian, Alana Molstein, who herself has lost over 100 pounds, or lost 100 pounds. And so to me, that's really exciting, because it's like, look, this is how you do it. And also something to think and to keep in mind is how you lose your first 10 pounds is not how you're going to lose your last 10 pounds. There is going to be a learning curve. Your body is going to change. It's going to adapt. And so you just really need to focus on that positivity and understanding that you are going to notice things over time. I will say one of the most important things is just to be consistent in how you track, that you track. I mostly track in my in an app, but I also have a tracker that I will write everything down in, because it helps you to like be mindful of like, I wonder why I have this pimple on my face. And I know that it's because I consumed some Girl Scout cookies over the weekend, and it shows up a few days later. Thank you. And so it's like, I know that when I track things, I can look back and see how it's influencing my body, not only my weight, but how I feel, how clear my skin is, all that kind of stuff. So if you're doing Transform 20, I also love that it includes your daily challenges as well as how often you laughed, which I think is really important. Anyways, getting off topic, but tracking is really, really important when it comes to nutrition, because everybody is different. You need to know how your body reacts to different things. So a dairy protein may have you feeling differently than an animal protein, or like a chicken or steak or something like that. And so it's really important to be aware of that and to think about it, how am I positively going to feel my body so that I feel my best? The other thing that I will mention that I have daily is Shakeology. And to me, it's very, very, very different than just a protein. So there are tons of protein shakes and whatever on the market. There are also a bunch of like weight loss ones. What I will say is that Shakeology to me isn't necessarily like a meal replacement. To me, Shakeology is filling in the little cracks and crevices in my nutrition. Like even when I'm on my A game, my body is missing out on some of the nutrients that just our sources are depleted of, because over time, that's what happens. And so to me, this is filling in those gaps and giving me an easy, previously like meal prepped, like it's super easy just to grab a scoop out of the bag and put it in. It's portioned, so I can't overeat it, whereas I could overeat steak or chicken. So it's pre-portioned. It's already like it's already like made for me. I don't have to do any type of prep unless I want it blended. And third, it's like super dense in nutrients. And so it's providing my body internally with the things that I need, not so that I can go eat crap, but so that my body uses everything else most efficiently. So for me, it's a non-negotiable. I drink it daily, and it makes me feel my best. It has probiotics, prebiotics in it, which helps my digestion, and I'm very regular because of it. And to me, it helps my body feel the best. It's also really helped me with cravings. So when I first started my journey, I was having ice cream every single night. And I don't want to say this to you because you're going to, like, so that you think, like, I can no longer ever have ice cream. But without a doubt, through eating a healthier diet and through consistent use of Shakeology and whatnot, over time, my body has just craved less sugar. And so, like, ice cream, I'm like, meh, it's not really even that good anymore. I don't really, like, crave it. But you start talking to me about Brussels sprouts with some bacon in there and some balsamic, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that sounds delicious. And I'd much rather eat vegetables over ice cream, I kid you not. And it's crazy to me, right? But that's what happens over time, and that's wonderful for your body, right? I can still have ice cream if I want it, but a lot of times I don't even crave it, and my mental game is just completely different. And it's not thinking about that I can't have it. It's that I just don't really need it. And so for me, that's been a huge game changer, and that's Shakeology's really helped me to kind of curb that. I kind of get that sweet feel in the morning with my breakfast, and it kind of just satiates me throughout the day. Other things that I want to mention. Oh, and so with my journey, like, it's been little things over time. And so as I mentioned, the progress over perfection, it really is. It's just those little tiny things over time. And how I went from thinking, like, there's no way that I could ever, like, I thought people who ate a gluten-free diet were crazy. I don't currently eat gluten-free, but I did eat and follow the Shift Shop meal plan for a while, which includes just like, you just have like sweet potatoes as carbs and like squash or things like that. And I was like, there's no way I can do it. Like, I'm somebody who, like, pasta and ice cream and cereal, like, that was my game. And now that's just not how I feel satisfied. I feel satisfied with a bunch of vegetables, and it's much more plant-based, which is great. I do eat animal proteins, and that's perfectly fine, right? That's what works for me, but I know what works for me and how I'm going to feel best. So to me, that's the whole point of this process, is to feel your best and to fuel your body for maximum results. And just that, so these are my feelings, right? This is what I want in my year. And I feel those things by following these programs and by eating most health in the healthiest ways. So if you have questions, please connect with your coach if it's not me. We're going to be helping you with recipes and different ideas, but guys, it really comes down to that mental game. And like I said, positivity is going to be the way that we win this game, and consistency through that is going to get us through. So, and I promise you're going to be happier and feel better because of it. More energy, all the great stuff. So if you have any questions, please reach out to your coach if that's not me. Otherwise, reach out to me. Have a great one.